All right, I had no intentions of making a video, but we recently bought some GTO Judge parts for a car that we don't have. If you have a carousel red 69 Pontiac GTO basket case Judge, let us know. We'd be interested. So we picked these up today, the hood and this trunk lid. We also got a spoiler after a guy walked into my dad's garage roughly 2-ish months ago and said, hey, I just acquired this property through a death and there's a bunch of GTO parts. Would you guys be interested? My dad's like, yeah, I'm not going there though. The house is pretty dilapidated. If you could bring them up, we'll certainly check out whatever you have. So he showed up with an Enduro bumper, original 69 GTO grills, and a couple weeks after that, he said there was fenders. He finally got them dug out, brought them up as well. So we bought them. They are pretty bright paint from our understanding. They've been in a basement for like 30, 40 years, where these are, I think they're both carousel red, that orange color that everyone knows. But these are really rough, right? I mean, like you could see it's pretty nice here. And that is actually the base coat in that orange. For everything else, it looks like this is overspray. This is like dirt or something, and it's all grooved. And I started trying to clean it, and I'm like, huh, that actually might come out. And I tried to show you guys in the Corvette video how you could save paint in an effort to not have to spend all your money on the initial investment. Say you buy a car, right? It's your first car, your first project, and it needs paint, but you're just not going to be able to afford it. So rather than blowing it up and trying to do it piece by piece, you know, a car that you just bought and enjoyed is now sitting in your garage for 5, 6, 7 winters, and you're going to get to it someday. We all know how that goes. So we're going to do a quick video showing for couple $100 how you could at least make the paint presentable enough where you could drive and enjoy it and be proud of it, but also know in the back of your mind you're now saving for a new paint job, or you know, you're gonna do it yourself but you don't have the time. So at least drive and enjoy the car and be proud of it, to make sure, one, you love it, but also, hey, this is something that's worth sinking money into. I enjoy driving it, you know, it's a popular car, whatever it may be. So we're gonna show you how to do that. It's gonna be pretty simple. I already blew it off. I used just some simple green to try and take some of this out. I'm gonna set up the time lapse. I'm gonna try to take more of it out, but then we're gonna buff it using the same Meguiar's buffer that we had. Corvette paint, I never went to the compound, the cutting, so that in theory should take out most of this and start to brighten this bottom color. So we'll see that all here. Tulu's garage, short one, let's get it done. Okay, quick update. I actually ended up using Quad Zero steel wool, which is down there. Obviously something abrasive you certainly would not use on paint that you are not trying to save and you eventually intend to repaint, but took out a lot of the heavy stuff. Actually sanded that clean. High spot there. I think there's another one here, so we'll have to, yeah, there's a couple actually if you look down. So we're going to tape one side of it, if you remember, and this side was far worse. The Quad Zero steel wool did take a lot off. I do think this is original paint. You can see the molding here, the outline, unless someone repainted it like that or the factory did. This is kind of questionable. You obviously can't say if that's primer. And then the spoiler hole is the same thing. So from my understanding, these cars were painted and then delivered to the dealerships where the spoilers were installed. So could be original paint, could not be. I'm not exactly sure. I guess this would be an indication that it wouldn't be. So whatever, we'll try and paint it or buff it, and you'll see it soon. Okay, day 2, we're back. I ran out of time yesterday, so I'm back today on a 10-degree weather day. All the days get longer. My steel wool, it's frozen. I actually had to take the bottle of water inside because what was left in it froze. This froze. You can hear the ice. I have hot water in there now. But when we left off yesterday, I was using the buffer. Really wasn't taking this off, so I'm going to go back to the steel wool, do this entire side with it. Hopefully we'll then have paint that looks something like this where we could buff out. And also I'm using an old pad, which is not really recommended, especially if it's good paint or stuff that you're really looking to maximize as best as possible. But what I did was I took a little of the compound and just smeared it all over this and let it sit for the night. So it softened up a lot. Before it was like almost rock hard. So just gonna kind of go to work. Hopefully you'll see a pretty big difference soon. If I'm feeling frisky, I may do the hood, but that's a lot of surface area to cover, so probably will just dust it off, leave it in there. And again, if you have a 1969 carousel red Pontiac GTO, preferably a Judge, I think they made a few standard GTOs in carousel red, let us know. We are accumulating parts for a car that we don't have, and we'd like to have one. All right, before we buff it, there's what you have. There's what you had. So this is all overspray. There's still some of it here. And then underneath it's like some type of grime. I have no idea, but pretty incredible so far. You can see how it's all dulled out from the steel wool. There's some scratches lightly if you run it up. But I think it's going to buff out really nice. So really encouraging. I mean, if you had that on a beater, who really cares? That's not that bad looking, especially if it's a factory Pontiac GTO Judge. There you have it. Obviously, can't save everything, but look at how much more presentable that is. That's crazy. Looks like two different cars. So, in conclusion, if you see there's an opportunity for some life left in your paint, just try cleaning it. This was, I don't know, 45 minutes of work today, another half hour yesterday. Couple $100 in the buffer, but things could be saved and you could drive this around and hey, it's original or a very old repaint, so it's got character. People are chasing the patina look. This is a little bit different, but as opposed to something dull like that, maybe we'll do that one next. I don't know. You won't see it here though, I can tell you that. So that concludes Two Loose Garage episode short 3 short episodes. Check them out. Like and subscribe.